Millennium Challenge Cooperation Agreement with the United States has been drawn into controversy as the ruling Nepal Communist Party has decided not to move forward the agreement unless the U.S. clarifies that it is not a part of the Indo-Pacific strategy. The ruling party has come up with the decision despite the insistence of the faction affiliated with Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli to endorse the agreement, citing it was merely concerned with bilateral financial assistance. Good morning, I'm Amit Mackerel and these are the top stories of this hour. Ruling Nepal Communist Party decides not to move ahead with the Millennium Challenge Cooperation Agreement right away, calls for the U.S. to clarify the agreement as not a part of the Indo-Pacific strategy. Attraction of investors on the country's productive sectors declines. Government statistics show the registration of new industries has decreased by 31%. A newly released email reveals that the White House sought to freeze aid to Ukraine just 91 minutes after President Trump spoke to Ukrainian President Zelensky on phone in July. And top contenders Rearban Army Club taking on defending champions Manang Mersangdi in a high-profile encounter under Party's Memorial A Division League football today. Let's begin with the national political updates. Amid growing objections within the party, the ruling Nepal Communist Party has decided not to endorse the Millennium Challenge Cooperation MCC agreement with the U.S. right away. The 8-day-long standing committee meeting of the ruling party has decided to hold the endorsement of the MCC agreement from the parliament until the U.S. government does not come up with a convincing statement that the MCC agreement is not a part of the Indo-Pacific strategy. The government had forced the MCC agreement worth 50 billion rupees 27 months ago. A few leaders from the faction led by Chairperson and Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli argued that the MCC agreement was merely related to bilateral financial assistance and insisted that it was not a part of the Indo-Pacific strategy. However, the leaders close to Executive Chairperson Puspa Kamal Dahal and Senior Leader Madhukumar Nepal reiterated that the MCC agreement was a part of the controversial strategy and should not be ratified by the Parliament. Party spokesperson Narayan Kazi stressed and informed the party has decided to urge the government to seek clarification from the U.S. government regarding the issue and wait until the American government responds before moving ahead with the endorsement procedures. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli, who was not present during the meeting, is in favor of the endorsement of the MCC agreement from the Parliament. Meanwhile, the Standing Committee meeting has endorsed the political report presented by Chairperson duo Oli and Dahal, along with concerns raised by party leaders. Similarly, the meeting has approved the statute amendment proposal that would pave way for the appointment of Secretariat Committee member Bamdev Gautam as the Vice Chairperson of the party. The meeting has decided to convene the Central Committee meeting on 8th of January. Likewise, the meeting has also directed the government to take diplomatic initiative to sort out the issues of border encroachment and the removal of the Indian security force from Nepal's territory. The Standing Committee meeting has also directed the government to issue a new political map of Nepal illustrating Kalapani, Lipulek and Limpiadura regions as Nepal's territory. Our recently published statistics show that investors are still not assured of Nepal government's claim of creating suitable environment for investment in the country. The data provided by the government indicates that the registration of new industries has dropped by 31% compared to last year. The number of industries and investment in the productive sector, which was highly prioritized by the government, has steadily decreased. We have a report.
The sole focal service center on 15th of May to avoid the hitches in registering new industries. The government amended a few acts related to the industrial sector before bringing the focal service center into operation. However, the government data shows that investors are not attracted at all with this provision. Only 168 new industries were registered in the first 5 months of the current fiscal year in comparison to 243 new industries that were registered in the same period of the last fiscal year. In the first 5 months of the previous fiscal year, new industries were registered with a total capital of 99.71 billion rupees, whereas it has plunged to 85.83 billion rupees during the same period in the current fiscal year. This year, the investment in the productive sector dropped to 12.02 billion rupees compared to 29.06 billion rupees previous year. The investment in the productive sector is very important for boosting employment opportunities in the country and to reduce the import rate. However, the reduction of investment in the productive sector has made the private sector more focused on trading. Previously, political instability along with bureaucratic and legal drawbacks were mainly attributed for the decline in investment. Despite the presence of the two-thirds majority government, progressive legal provisions and acts and end of the load shedding has so far failed to create conducive environment for investment in the productive sectors.
There are a few people in Nepal compared to other countries who are using expensive contraband drugs such as heroin and cocaine, among others. Nepal, however, has turned into a major transit for smuggling, such as illicit drugs, in recent years. Even the drug traffickers from Brazil, which is 28 hours flight distance away from Nepal, have been using the Nepalese land to smuggle the contraband drugs to Europe and Hong Kong. Cocaine was confiscated in Nepal for the first time some 8 years ago. However, several instances of traffickers using Nepal as the transit to smuggle the drug from South America to Hong Kong, India and Europe have been unveiled in recent years. Cocaine amounting to 50 kilograms, which is worth around 1 billion rupees, has been confiscated in the country in the past 5 years alone. It is obvious for the drug traffickers to use the airports having weak security mechanism to smuggle the contrabands. The Tribhuvan International Airport, the only international airport in Nepal, does not even have a device to examine the contraband drugs. This has allowed the international traffickers to use the airport to smuggle illegal drugs unabated to the countries they desire. In our Public Voice segment, we asked the residents of Surkhet district what needs to be done to better manage the trashes produced from picnics organized in tourist destinations and public parks. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public Voice.
पर्यटकहरूले पनि के बुझ्दिनु पर्यो भने आफ्नो जिम्मेवारी कुनै पनि फोहोर अब डस्टबिनमा हुन्छ कि कहाँ हुन्छ उले अथवा यहाँभन्दा बाहिर लगेर फ्याँकेर हुन्छ कि अनि उले चाहिँ व्यवस्थापन गर्नु पर्यो
पिकनिक स्पोट सकिसकेपछि त्यहाँ के फोहोर गरेछ त त्यो त व्यवस्थापन समितिले पनि त्यहाँ रेखदेख गर्न पर्यो फोहोर गरेछ भने उनीहरुलाई सफा गर भन्न पर्यो
पिकनिकहरु खाने छुट्टै ठाउँ भएको भइदे अनि त्यहाँ फोहोरहरु पनि हुन्थेन
फोहोरहरु राख्नलाई एउटा डस्टबिन युज गरिएको हुन्छ त्यहाँ जहाँ देखिन्छ नि डस्टबिन भनेर लेखेको हुन्छ नि त्यहाँ गएर त्यो फोहोरहरु राख्नु पर्छ
पिकनिक स्पोट भएको कारणले धेरै फोहोर हुन्छ त्यसमा र त्यो एउटा निश्चित ठाउँ र एरिया बनाइदिए पार यो ठाउँ चाहिँ अभियसली 100% चाहिँ अझै अगाडि बढ्ने थियो र पर्यटकीय स्थलमा धेरै राम्रो बन्ने थियो
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, why are productive industries not aggressively established? And options are A, procedural hitches, B, failure to attract foreign investment, and C, commercial mindset. The voting is on. Type NAWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now the sports update.
Sports news.
Defending champions Manang Mersyangdi are taking on one of the top contenders this season, Tribhuvan Army Club, in a high-profile clash of the ongoing Mounties Memorial A Division League football today. 2 matches will be played under the A Division League today. 3-Star will take on Nepal Police Club in the second match of the day. Both the matches are scheduled at the capital's Dasrat Stadium. The first match is scheduled to begin from 12 noon, while the second match will begin from 3 p.m. Tribhuvan Army had registered a hard-earned 2-1 win over Friends Club in the first match. Likewise, Manang had registered 2-0 victory over Armed Police Force in the first match. Both the goals for Manang were scored by Bimal Ranamagar to announce that he is in good form. Meanwhile, 3-Star and Nepal Police Club, who both played a draw in the first match, will be looking to earn full points in the match today. Chelsea tightened their grip in the top 4 finish in the English Premier League with an emphatic 2-0 win over Tottenham. The win, however, was marred by allegations of racist abuse. Williams' first half double moved Chelsea 4 points clear of 5th-placed Sheffield United in the race for the final Champions League qualifying spot. Tottenham finished with 10 men after Son Heung-min was thrown a red card for kicking out at Chelsea's Antonio Rudiger, who was then the victim of the alleged racist incident. Willian opened the scoring at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium by curling in a shot in the 12th minute. The Brazilian then added his second from the penalty spot after a video review ruled Spurs goalkeeper Paulo Gajaniga had fouled Marcos Alonso. Lazio defeated Juventus 3-1 last night to clinch the Italian Super Cup. In the match played at the Saudi city of Riyadh, Serie A champions Juventus met Coppa Italia winners Lazio in the Italian Super Cup game. Lazio's goals came from Luis Alberto, Senat Lulic and Danilo Cataldi, while Juventus scored their only goal through Paulo Dybala. Juventus has lost 2 matches this season, and both of the losses came this month were against Lazio. Serie A champions were down to 10 men after Rodrigo Bentancur picked up a second booking and was sent off in the last minute. It's time now for our special segment of The Beat.
Life in Gorkha's remote hill region is slowly resuming normalcy after the general life there was greatly disrupted by snowfall. Samagaon, Samdo, Chekumpar, Lu, Prok and Laprak had experienced a thick blanket of snow following rain last week. The construction works at the model community houses being made by the Association of Non-Resident Nepalese was also disrupted due to the adverse weather circumstances. The local residents in the region said that it will still take a few more days for the snow to melt completely. Despite the ice-cold temperature triggered by the snowfall, the local farmers are happy that the snow will result in a better harvest this season. At the same time, children were also seen in a joyous mood playing with the snow. A cold spell has also gripped Baake, Bardia, Dang, Kailali and Kanchanpur in the country's Tarai region. A cold winter wind early in the morning has hampered daily life in many of these Tarai districts. The cold spell has greatly affected the daily wage workers as they need to come out of their homes despite the adverse weather to make their ends meet. The cold has limited daily activities in Nepalganj and Gularia. Although the temperature in these Tarai districts has not fallen below 8 degrees, lack of sunshine makes the winter spell uncomfortable. This is Bipashna Tamang for Kantipur News Desk.
And that's all for this hour. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Have a good day.